Hello, newly homeschool moms and dads. I just wanted to give you an idea. I wanted to take you each day and kind of show you what you can do at home right now while you have your kiddos and teach them different subjects. And I wanted to start today with something we call morning time or maybe together time. And it's basically doing things together where all your kids could be starting the day together regardless of their age. These are things that you can all do together. And basically, I just have a couple of books, an iPad or a laptop, whatever you need just to kind of show videos. And that's really it. So I kind of wanted to show you just a glimpse in case you have any of these items at home that you can start your day with your kids like that. Okay, so this is pretty much my setup in the morning. Your setup doesn't have to be in the kitchen. It could be in the den, in your living room, anywhere you feel comfortable. It's just that right after breakfast, they're already here. So some of the activities that we could do or I can have for them, for example, we're studying Europe, and so I have the little ones do the puzzle. But it doesn't have to be this puzzle. It could be any puzzle that you have. You're basically having them focus and being attention to detail, and you're having them occupied on something that requires their attention. So they're kind of practicing how to pay attention. Another example would be a book. I just happen to have a book, an art book, where they have to spot the difference. And again, you might have another activity book that you have at home, maybe like a Mad Libs book or something, but then it at least gives them that little independent work here on the table. And these are really fun. And by the way, you can find these probably on Amazon. These are perplexers and mind benders, and I have my older ones do these because they're basically logic puzzles, and it keeps them thinking, just keeps them a little bit occupied while the little one is doing something different. So this is a way that they accumulate tickets in our home, and our tickets in our home equate to minutes on their iPad. So it's kind of a fun way for them to earn it. Okay, so a couple of other things that we do for morning time, since we're together, is they can earn more tickets by maybe reading a Spanish book to us. And so these are fun. Maybe you don't have a Spanish book, that's okay. Maybe any book, maybe you just print a little poem from online and you have one of the kids read it to the other ones. It's just, again, an opportunity to practice reading, to practice just being together, all your kids together at the same time. Another thing that I like to do in morning time is read a beautiful book to them. So whether you have it at home or whether you maybe Google it on YouTube, you can find other people reading beautiful books. And what I mean by beautiful books is, well, this is a great example of one. I'm sure you've heard of The Giving Tree, and it's just a beautiful story, and at the end it gives a great opportunity for you to really have a conversation about what you just read. So I like to present to them beautiful books that I know that they're not normally going to go and pick them out themselves. So I like to pick these out and then I present it to them here. And so these are beautiful books with great messages in them, and they're great for morning time. Again, I have more daily warm-up logics, and these are fun. This one question a day. It's like a logic game or a riddle, and it makes it fun for them, and it doesn't require a ton of time. But it's just something neat that they can look forward to, just one a day, and whoever guesses it, we'll give them like a couple of tickets. So these again can be found on Amazon. Another thing you can also do, you could print them online, fables. Fables are really cool, short stories that give a lesson, and so I'll read them the story. Maybe I'll read it this way, so they have a visual, and I'll read them the story. And then they have to come up with, what is the message in this fable? What is it trying to tell us? And it's really neat to hear the different answers from the different age groups. I have a 7, a 9, and an 11-year-old. So they're all going to draw different conclusions. And so that's really neat to see. And again, you can find these. These are classics. They're so old. I got these at a old bookstore. So but they're online, so you can just print them out from online and read one of those to them. Another thing we do is we do whatever science topic we're doing for that week. I like to incorporate it maybe here during morning time. So that's during the time that maybe I would have them watch a video. So for example, we've been learning about aerodynamics, and one of the things that we could see is just watch a video about it. And they can just learn a little bit more about it like that, just like a 5-minute video. And I really would keep it at 5 minutes because their attention span seems to kind of wander off. So then we would watch a video, or maybe we would read a book about it. So we just happened to pick up a book, and I think we were doing bridges last week. And so I picked up a book on bridges, towers, and tunnels. And it's just going in a little bit more in depth into something that we're already talking about. So if they did an activity, well, now they're going to read a book, or they read a book before, now we're going to watch a quick YouTube video on it. Quite simple, and you can pick anything that your kid was doing at school. Maybe they were studying about ants, maybe they were studying about volcanoes. Then just add a little bit more depth to it. Watch a video or get a book. And I know all the libraries are closed, I understand that, so I can't ask you to go run to the library, but again, I've gone on YouTube and seen other people reading books on there. So YouTube is a big lifesaver, and you can find pretty much everything there. Okay, and then finally, or not finally, but one other thing that we like to do together is we like to memorize poetry, whether the poetry is in English or in Spanish, or maybe it's a Bible verse. Just having the kids memorize poetry or beautiful words, it's pretty awesome, because not only does it help their brain, they keep their brain conditioned to memorize, but it also helps them capture beautiful things. So we like to memorize Spanish, because then that really keeps them learning more about those Spanish words. And next thing you know, they have all these words in their mind, and when they hear them around, maybe on TV, maybe somebody says it, they immediately remember it because it's already there in their memory bank. So memorizing poetry, Bible verses, or Spanish poetry is a great opportunity. And again, you can just print them from online, because there is a plethora of things on there, okay? And then finally, I wanted to share one of the activities that we do once a month. We call it the Hymn of the Month. And that's just what we're using. We use a hymn. You can use a song or a piece of music, but for us, we use a hymn. So we're going through just choosing some of our favorite hymns, and particularly the ones that we sing at church. And so what we do first is I show them a video, again on YouTube, about the history of that hymn. So for example, we did Amazing Grace. That was our first one. And I went online and I saw a YouTube video on Amazing Grace. And so after we heard the story and learned about it, after that, then we went to, I had them do some art projects. You know, what did they get from that song? What did they remember about that story? They can pick anything. They could draw anything they want, anything that came to mind as they're listening, anything they remember about the story, anything. And so after they paint it, and whatever you have at home, whether it's markers, crayons, paints, pastels, whatever you currently have, that's what you can use. I know my oldest one likes to sketch, so whenever he gets the chance, he just wants to draw. He doesn't want to paint, or he doesn't want to deal with all that other stuff. So that's fine. Whatever they're trying to express with whatever art supplies you have, that's fine, as long as that they're expressing what they were listening to. And then finally, we just put the name of the composer, or the writer, and the name of the song, and the creator of this amazing paint. And then they presented in front of the rest of us. So they would go and stand over there, and they would stand with their paintings, and they would share about what they wrote and what they thought about this experience, or just telling us about what the story meant to them. So you can do this with them as well. And so if you can see how you can take one thing and really add different subjects right into it. All the subjects don't have to be compartmentalized. So just teaching one song a month or one hymn a month. We've already incorporated history with listening to the history of the song. We incorporated art. We incorporated public speaking. And if you wanted to take it even one step further, you can have them write about it. And so that would incorporate writing. And so just trying to see how you can incorporate many subjects into one project. It's probably going to be a more rich experience, and because they could do it together as a family, that makes it even a more beautiful experience. And finally, with this project, I forgot that you also incorporate music. Duh! I created a little book for them. And so your book can incorporate some songs that you've been singing. And so the way we close up our morning time is we open our song of the month and we sing it. Or sometimes just a piece of it, because some are really long. But that's the way we close up morning time. We say a prayer and then we're done. So I just want to encourage you, two things. One, have that opportunity to come together time with your kids where everybody's doing something and then you guys are all doing something together, and that one project can incorporate various subjects. And hopefully, just like my kids, when the kids hear that song when they're out and about, they'll immediately turn to you and they'll remember that experience, that connection. That song will be more meaningful because they did it and they learned it at home with their family. So I hope these help. I'm going to be adding more videos. If you have any questions or any comments, please feel free to leave them here. Again, this is kind of off on a whim, just creating these videos for you. And I hope they bless you, and just feel free to reach out to me.